Beautiful sunrise in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I woke up early and drove 3.5 hours to Mount Washington in New Hampshire. This is the base of the mountain. You can see the top of the mountain where we intended to go. The means of getting up to the top, a train car like this one. Let's go. The apex of Mount Washington sits at 6,288 feet, which is 1.19 miles, approximately 1.125 miles high. And these little trains that said, I think I can, will attempt to take us to the top of this mountain. It is the second steepest rock railway in the world after the Pilatus Railway in Switzerland. It has an average grade of over 25% and a minimum grade of 37%. The railway is approximately 3 miles from where we are right now, which is 2,700 feet above sea level. So it's 3 miles to the top that this little train will attempt to take us. And it's not a train that has multiple cars. As you notice, it's just one car, and it's 4 different cars being pushed by 4 different engines up to the top of the mountain. And it carries roughly, I would say, 50 people. I did not really count, but from memory I would say each car carries about 50 people up to the top of the mountain. This is one of the train pulling in at the base of Mount Washington. These are some of the pictures I took on our way to the summit of this mountain. That's just where we're coming from, way down the bottom of a hill. Notice the car behind and the grade, the incline of this mountain that these trains climb. It's not for the faint-hearted, if I might say so. And at a certain point we come to the halfway mark, and we're going to see this little house called the halfway house right there, telling us that we are halfway up the mountain after about 15 minutes ride. Crazy as it is, you can drive up to the top of the mountain, and this road that you're looking at the right is the road that leads from the base up to the top, not for the faint-hearted. A little closer up view of the road, Mount Washington Auto Road it is called. You can stop and take pictures at different locations. Let's make a deal. I'll give you the city with all of its nice tall buildings, and you can give me the countryside any day. Up for such deal? There is an weather observatory station at the top of Mount Washington. The Mount Washington Observatory reported that it is tied, that spot on Mount Washington is tied for the second coldest place on Earth at a brisk -36 degrees Fahrenheit. It was just 2 degrees from the coldest location, which is in Russia, which record -38 degrees Fahrenheit. But Mount Washington, which sits at 6,288 feet, is home of the world's worst weather, as it is celebrated by the observatory. Observers record a 231 miles wind gust, a record that tied with Typhoon Olivia at an unmanned instrument station in Australia in 1996. Now we have lots of hikers on the mountain. While we're going up on the mountain, you can see hikers all over the place, and some of them hike for days coming through different areas of the Appalachian Mountains. So you are wisely warned to dress for the appropriate season and monitor the weather that can change by the minute, really, actually, literally by the minute. Up on that mountain, it is a dangerous place for you to be when the weather is not friendly, to say the least. This car is the car that I was in, that take us back down to the base of the mountain. Now this is sitting close to the top, or this is actually in the top of the mountain, so if you notice, it is almost flat at the top of the mountain. But this red car that you're looking at is not what we're in. That's a car that went down before our car. It just started its descent down the hill. Now if you can see the angle of descent as it started to go down the mountain, that's how steep. That's, as they said, the maximum percentage of grade is 37%. That's how steep it is going back down the mountain. The rest of this presentation will be some video footage I took on Mount Washington in New Hampshire.
36 degrees, freezing rain, and 75-mile-an-hour winds. That's enough to kill you if you don't have the right gear for it. If you're left wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts and you get up there in that weather, you can die of hypothermia within 30 minutes. Somebody doesn't come out and rescue you. So I'm not trying to scare anybody.